Okay, so what was I saying earlier about Harry always feeling the need to, like, be the one to, well, like I said, it have the weight of the world on his shoulders, and now he's like, oh, it has to be me. Um, I mean, I feel like he would do a better job than Ron would. Or Hermione. Hermione wasn't the best Bellatrix. I mean, she was all right, but um, I mean, the point about Parseltongue was a very good point, because that would be the best way for Delphi to get Voldemort to actually listen to her. I mean, like, that would definitely, if this random witch starts speaking Parseltongue to him, that would stop him in his tracks and intrigue him. Um, More so, than anything else, I think. So that was a very good point, and that's that could be an essential piece to it. So for that reason, I agree that Harry is the best choice. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like, what's he do? He's just volunteering himself again with, certainty that he's got to be the one to save the world. Yeah, I mean, they pointed it out in Order of the Phoenix when he went, when he was trying to go save Sirius. Like, they said, Harry, don't you have kind of a saving people thing? And it's, it's true. It's a good point. And again, it's both a strength and a weakness, I think. I mean, yeah, if he didn't, he saved a lot of people in his time. I kept track of it at one point, but then stopped. You know, Most of the time it's like kind of on accident, though. I don't know. But well, let's see if he's able to save the world yet again. Oh, I did like the moment where Albus said about Harry, he won't let us down. Like, that's so. I think we're moving toward a reconciliation between them. Yeah, and that was this was like a whole scene ago, but I really loved Ginny's point. Harry said, "I'd do anything for him," and then Ginny said, "You do anything for anybody." That is so true. That was like she knows him so well. I hadn't thought of it in those words, but I mean, it goes back to his saving people thing. I mean, most of the people whose lives he saved were people, he loved or at least cared for. I don't know if he would I don't think he loved Ginny back in Chamber of Secrets. I mean, I think he cared about her and cared what happened to her, and on Ron's behalf too. But I mean, if it happened to be Ginny, but if it had been like anyone, I still think he would have done that. And so I definitely think that's true, and that's a good point about feeling specific love. I think what it is Harry doesn't. I mean, Harry loves Albus. I'm never denying that. Harry doesn't love Albus for who he is. He doesn't appreciate the person that Albus is. Lily and James, his children, not his parents, are similar to him in many ways, similar to Ron and Hermione and Ginny in many ways, that he can appreciate that. But Albus, this little misfit who's different, like, I'm getting it. Harry loves him because he's his son and he has to. But it's not. Albus wants him to love the person that he is. I still think he's being a little, over dramatic in his, whininess sometimes, and not, and I don't know if that was made clear enough. Maybe it was made clear enough and I just wasn't catching on to it until this moment. I mean, I'm definitely going to go back and read this again 50 times. Maybe not 50, but, I'll have to look for it again and see if there were, if there were moments there that implied that I just missed. But yeah, I mean, we're getting tragically close to the end. I also wanted, I don't see any reason for this to happen. Patronuses. I wanted Elvis to have a reason to cast a Patronus because I want to know what his Patronus is. I would put my money on it being a scorpion. But I was thinking like earlier, like if we do and it is, I'll be like so happy. If we don't see him cast a Patronus at all, I'm just going to assume that that's what it was, and it had better be. If we do and it's not, I can't imagine what else it would be. I don't want to. If it's like a stag, I would be mad because I don't think that's right. James, I could see, but if Albus casts a Patronus, it has to be a scorpion. But I don't see why there would be any need to fight Dementors in the next couple scenes, so I don't think we'll get a chance to. And also, I don't know if he would be able to produce one at this point, even if he tried. I don't know if he's had enough practice. And they said like it's pretty advanced magic too, and he's a 4th year, so it's not a normal OWL level test. Well, it wasn't in 1996. Maybe they changed it by now. Maybe they decided it was important enough to teach sooner, because in one of the alternate universes, is when Hermione was the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, she was teaching them about it in 4th year. So, and that was the reality that was most similar to this one. It was just Voldemort wasn't back, but many other things were the same. Harry still married Ginny, and that was the one where that was the reality where Albus had been sorted into Gryffindor. And that was the reality where Harry was insisting that Albus and Scorpius were not allowed to see each other. So like the conversation with Bane in the Forbidden Forest that he just had, he'd still had that in this alternate reality too. So it was very similar. So we don't know if they ever learned about Patronuses in this in the current reality or not, or if they'd started learning but hadn't had time to cast it yet. So again, I don't think it's going to come up, but we'll see. So okay, so here's Voldemort now. Jeez. Act 4, Scene 11. Godric's Hollow, St. Jerome's Church, 1981. Ron, Hermione, Draco, Scorpius, and Albus stand at the window looking out. Ginny can't look. She sits further back. Albus notices his mom sitting apart. He walks over to her. Albus, it's going to be okay. You know that, Mom? Ginny, I know it is. Or I hope I do. I just don't want to see him like that. The man I love shrouded in the man I hate. Albus sits beside his mom. Albus, I liked her, Mom, you know that? I really liked her, Delphi. And she was Voldemort's daughter? Ginny, that's what they're good at, Albus. Catching innocents in their web. Albus, this is all my fault. Ginny takes Albus in her arms. Ginny, how funny. Your dad seems to think it's all his. Strange pair that you are. Scorpius, that's her. She's seen him. Hermione, positions, everybody. And remember, don't come out until he's got her in the light. We've one shot at this. We don't want to mess it up. They all move fast. Draco, Hermione Granger, I'm being bossed around by Hermione. This is more important than dinner.